After more than 10 months of waiting, yes, actually 10 months, we finally have access to OpenAI's Sora model. It's AI video generator. So creating text to video or image to video generations inside of Sora. So it is brand spanking new. Actually did a review earlier and realized my mic wasn't on. We're going to give you a very quick overview of what it is, how it works, what you get, all that good stuff. If you're new here, what's going on, y'all? My name is Jordan, and I'm the host of Everyday AI. So we're a daily live stream podcast and free daily newsletter helping everyday people learn and leverage generative AI to grow their companies and their career. If that sounds like you are in the right place. So let's jump into Sora and talk about what you need to know. Number one, it is available right now to ChatGPT Plus and ChatGPT Pro users. Well, kind of. Actually, OpenAI servers were so overwhelmed, they had to temporarily deactivate new signups. So keep that in mind. Now let's talk about what you actually get. But before we do that, there's two privacy things. I'm going to start with privacy. So number one, by default, you publish to the Explore tab. I'll tell you what that is in a minute, but essentially whatever you publish, other people will be able to see. Keep that in mind. Maybe if you're using images and you want to upload photos of family, things like that. So uncheck that. I'm going to do this now. And then also uncheck the improve the model for everyone. Let's be honest. You don't need to ever have this on. So let's now talk about what you get with your different plans. So if you have a free plan, sorry, you can't use Sora. If you have the $20 per month paid ChatGPT Plus plan, well, you can use Sora, but it's going to be extremely limited. I've been saying this all along. A lot of the new things that we're getting with OpenAI in this 12 days of OpenAI shipmas, it's going to be very limited for ChatGPT Plus subscribers. I'll be upgrading soon to the Pro tier. But a couple of things to keep in mind. You only get 1,000 credits with ChatGPT Plus, which is about 50 videos. Depends. All right. Also, you have a watermark on the ChatGPT Plus. Also, you cannot upload photos of people. Yes, I'm going to test that real quick here. But you need the Pro plan, that $200 a month plan. With that, you get a lot more credits. You get 1080p max resolution, 20-second duration versus 5-second, as well as being able to work on 5 things at once versus 1. All right, so keep that in mind. All right. The last thing to know, well, it's Sora.com. You do not access this inside of ChatGPT. All right, enough. Let's quickly do a generation first, and then I will show you everything else because it's probably going to take a little time. All right, I'm just going to make something up off the top of my head. I'm going to say a black and white cat sitting in the parking lot of the Chicago Tribune. All right. Well, let's just see what this gets. All right. I am going to go to 2 videos. All right. So 2 different variations. More on that later. All right. So I'm going to click create video. Hopefully it'll work. It's been very slow. So it added to queue. Good. So yeah, earlier, minutes after Sora launched, didn't even let you add a video to the queue. So at any time, I showed you can click on your profile icon there to go to tutorials, settings, things like that. Also, you sign in with your OpenAI account, but you do have to create a Sora nickname or a Sora username. So it's actually going kind of fast right now, which is nice. Earlier, it was taking about 5 or 6 minutes. It looks like this is almost done. So we're going to jump into, so I can click on this activity. And then I'm going to go, and it looks like it's at 97%, about 98%. So much faster than earlier, although it's not done. All right. So while we wait for that, let's see, is it done? Nope, still 98%. Oh, there we go. It's done. So you get this new little notification. So let's see what this looks like here. All right. So we have kind of like a breakdancing cat on the left-hand side. Not sure what's going on there. On the right-hand side, fine, pretty good. So you can click on each of these generations, and there's a lot of other things that you can do. So you can click edit prompt. So if you wanted to do something else with the prompt, you can put this in a storyboard. You can do a recut, remix, blend, loop. I don't have time. I wanted to keep this a very short tutorial. If you want me to show you how, I've messed around with these a little bit. So just let me know. All right, so there's our 2 generations. So not bad, right? For a first, quote unquote, first generation, pretty good. But let me show you quickly around the interface what you need to know. So recent, this is just recent generations, right? So anyone that has, I believe anyone that has that setting on by default, their generations are going to go in here. What's really cool, let's just go ahead and do this one. So I can click on this and I can, this is a loop, it looks like. All right, interesting. So I wanted to go to one that's pretty simple. So it says monkey skating playfully. So if you hover over it, you can always see what these generations are. And then there's also a remix link here, loop link, and save. You can save anything or search for similar videos. So here we go. I can see the entire prompt here. So if it says, a cozy wooden cabin, and then it ends with ultra realistic. So obviously it doesn't look ultra realistic. So you can always go and use other people's prompts. You can quickly remix them, change certain little things, etc. So here's one. It looks like it is in a different language. So I'm not going to be able to modify this one. All right, so I can do this. So it says woman skiing in down a snowy mountain with good powder conditions. The sky is blue and it's a perfect day. She is in flow. So let's just say I'm just going to change this. I can say he, and then I say man, right? And I can generate. And just like that, you can reuse anything that someone has created. I'm actually not sure, though, if you start with a photo and go photo to video, if you'll be able to do that. So keep that in mind. I'm not sure. We'll have to do some more testing, but that's just something to know. All right, so over here, you have your recent videos. You can go in, see how they're made. Something that I really like about Sora and most, Runway, Luma, they have similar features as well. You can go see how things are created, featured. OpenAI said this is kind of a hand curated, generations that I think the OpenAI team likes. This is a pretty cool one there of an elephant painting Sora. Saved. So if I save anything, it's going to end up there. These videos, these are ones that I've done so far. So here's some that I did earlier. You can check this one. This is first-person drone flyover of downtown Chicago. Turned out okay, backwards, a couple of weird artifacts. But anything, all your videos that you've worked on will go there. So I haven't done a lot so far. Favorites, anything that you favorite. Upload is any images, any source media that you upload. So if you do want to go photo to video, as an example, that will go there, as well as any folders. So you can create a folder and then you can add different generations to different folders. All right. So that is the basics, but there's a lot of really cool features. But before we get into that, you got to know about the cost. So those credits. So remember, on the ChatGPT Plus account, you have 1,000 credits. So you cannot go all the way up to 1080, but let's just say I wanted 720p. When you do that, you cannot do this 2 variations. So it's going to, number one, take longer, but it also takes more credits. Also, you can only go 5-second duration on 720. Whereas if you go on 420, you can go up to 10 seconds and up to 2 video generations. If you hover over this, it'll tell you how many credits. So actually different orientations as well take up different credits. So 16:9 or 9:16 does 50 per 480p. If I change this to 1:1 and hover over, there you go, 80 credits. So less compute essentially is required to do a 1:1 square versus a 16:9. So a lot of other features, like I said, you can upload an image there. There's different presets. I didn't play around with those too much. Your aspect ratio, your resolution, your seconds, and then your video variations at once. But here's the thing that I really like: storyboard. All right, so you can just create a scene. So I can do the same thing, or I could say, a cat jumping off of a surfboard, right? And then I could add, let's see, I can go anywhere in here in this variation and I can click the same thing. And then I could go back over here And then I can say the cat then goes fishing, whatever. And then I can click create. And what Sora tries to do is it tries to make these different scenes that you described via a text prompt work together, right? So you can upload different images and it's going to try to piece them together. In the demo that OpenAI did, it actually did a pretty good job. It was, I'm trying to remember, it was some kind of animal fishing in the water. I think it might have been a crane or something like that. So that is the storyboard feature. All right, that is a very quick overview. Let's see if we finished our remix. It looks like about 99% there. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you want to see more Sora content. I'll probably do a much deeper dive in quick tutorial, and I'll probably do a dedicated show on Sora sometime soon as well. But to recap, you got to keep an eye on credits. It's going to go fast. You know, the generations are, from a quality perspective, they are fantastic. But you have to keep in mind, if you're trying to get something like this, like people walking, right? So cars, many cars driving, right? So right now, Sora, as well as a lot of AI video generators, struggle with physics a little bit, right? So you might have to play around a lot to get something to work. But when it works, it looks really good, right? It also seemingly does pretty good with text images, right? So you have one right here. This could have been a photo to start with. I'm not sure, but go around, play around, look, see what works for you, see what doesn't. I was trying to buy a little time. Our last generation worked, so let's go ahead and see the one that we created here. All right, so looks kind of like this GoPro 360, kind of wild. I kind of like this one better. All right, that one looks not that great, but right. So it's the first generation. From a quality standpoint, if you start with a high quality image or start with a well thought off prompt, and if you run a couple of variations, I think what you get out of your top generation is probably going to be as good or better than anything else on the market right now. So again, a lot of these other AI video generators, Runway has been out for more than a year. Luma, Kling, right? You have all of these that have, served up probably millions of hours of AI videos, and they've had many updates. So this is the worst Sora will ever be. Keep that in mind. Hope this was helpful. If it was, again, let me know what you want to see next. Go to youreverydayai.com, and I'll see you back for another AI in 5 or AI in 13. Thanks, y'all.